Hi everyone, this is Dr. Nitin Chhoda and welcome to this episode of Ignition Time. I appreciate you being a viewer. I appreciate you being a subscriber. Here's some information about me. You'll learn more about who I am, what my journey has been like, and why you should listen to me. This channel, the Ignition Time channel, is about our country, it's about the economy, and it's about your money. I really appreciate you being here, and I have an important update for you about the $15 an hour minimum wage. Now, I have done another video talking about the pros and cons of the $15 an hour minimum wage, and Kevin O'Leary from Shark Tank simply does not like the $15 an hour minimum wage. In fact, he said it was the worst idea he had ever heard. Now, in another interesting part of that segment from earlier today on CNBC, Kevin O'Leary said a much better idea would be to take small companies, which by definition, by Kevin O'Leary's definition, consists of companies that make less than $100 million a year, or new companies that are just beginning. He said small companies should simply have their federal income taxes abolished for the next 24 months. And he said that that would be a much better idea than mandating a $15 an hour minimum wage. Now, I want you to think about this for a second. If you have a small company and the company is not concerned about minimum wage and they're also not going to pay federal income taxes, are they more likely to hire more employees? Are they more likely to spend more money on marketing? Are they more likely to simply invest and get a larger office space, try to grow as fast as they can? Because they know that they can essentially take all the money that's coming in and continue to grow. Wouldn't that be interesting? That is essentially the proposal from Kevin O'Leary. Now remember, these are ambitious proposals. These are highly progressive proposals. And to be honest, I don't think something like this is likely to happen because I don't think something like this will get through the House and the Senate. But it's an idea that's worth considering. Let's listen to what Kevin O'Leary said, the Shark Tank investor, about trying to do away with federal income taxes for the next 24 months for small companies instead of mandating a $15 an hour minimum wage. Let's roll the tape and I want you to let me know what you think.
Let me suggest another. It's not fair to criticize policy unless you have an alternative that may be better. And maybe I can get my esteemed colleague here to agree with me and support this idea. For the next 24 months, just the next 24 months, any business under $100 million in sales, or one that wants to be started by an entrepreneur, pays no federal tax and is not bound by any minimum wage. Do that for 24 months and watch what happens. And in addition, cancel the PPP. I've seen what happened since the last March and April PPP. 50% of that money was completely wasted. And if Congress ever decides to shine the light on those loans, it's going to be really ugly.
Now, in the next segment, let's hear from someone else, another well-known expert. He's an ex-hedge fund manager. His name is Michael Novogratz from Galaxy Investments, and he believes in cryptocurrency. One of his proposals was to actually pay employees in cryptocurrency. But let's take a look at this interesting segment where he says we need to take into consideration the cost of living, a living wage, and not just an across-the-board minimum wage. In other words, someone living in Arkansas, or Alabama, or even Tennessee would need less money than someone living in New York or potentially even in New Jersey. Now, this by the way, sounds simple, sounds fairly easy, but it's not, because it creates a new range of problems. Why should someone, simply based on where they live, have a lower wage? Also, is that going to lead to people leaving certain areas and then going towards other areas that have a higher living wage? This creates a whole range of new problems that would make it hard to implement. But let's listen to Michael Novogratz, who said that let's focus on a living wage versus a minimum wage. And he says that big box retailers who essentially pay their workers a minimum wage should be held more accountable, because these big box retailers essentially make more and more money. And he also pointed out that when these big box retailers and their employees get money, their employees end up spending that money back at the same big box retailer, which allows the big box retailer like a Walmart or a Home Depot or a Best Buy to actually make even more money. Pretty interesting comments from Michael Novogratz. Let's roll the tape and take a look.
Let me get to Novogratz. So, Mike, your idea is to pay employees in Bitcoin and have that quadruple, and then they're making like $30 an hour. Is that how you? That's what
I'd say a couple things to start. I think we should focus on a living wage versus a minimum wage, because living in Alabama and living in New York City are very different, different economies. So that would be my first thought. My second thought is, listen, the bulk of people making less than the minimum wage don't work for small mom and pop businesses. They work for the big box retail. stores. 85% of people that work at big box retail make less than the living wage in the county they live in. That's crazy. That's the Home Depots of the world. That's the Lowe's of the world. It used to be Walmart until it got so much pressure. It's quick service restaurants, and so these are big chains where people are making lots of money. It's unethical for someone to work a 40-hour week and make, $8 an hour. It just doesn't add up, especially.
But they're mostly going up, Mike. A lot of those, Target, Walmart, all those places, without any government intervention or marketplace finagling, they've all gone up to. They're paying $15 already, and that's organic. And they've got
up
in a strong economy. In a strong economy, you're trying to get a bunch of workers, and they can demand that to pay.
But Joe, I think in a lot of reasons, Amazon moved its wages, Walmart's moved its wages because of political pressure, because of social and political pressure, because of AOC screaming at them and say, how can you not pay any tax and pay your workers so little? How can the government be subsidizing your employees with food stamps, right? It was like $3 billion of food stamps the government pays into Walmart employees who then spend them at Walmart. That just doesn't make sense when Walmart's one of the most profitable companies in the world. It just doesn't.
Also, most importantly, your thoughts on a living wage versus a minimum wage. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. My name is Dr. Nitin Chhoda with Ignition Time. I want you to know that you are greatly appreciated. If you don't know anything about me, please check out my video. You'll learn a little bit more about who I am, what my journey has been like, and why you should listen to me. For me, it's not about the red or the blue. It's about the red, white, and blue. I'm not Democrat. I'm not Republican. I'm American. We are all Americans first. I want you to know that I work very hard on this channel because I want to give you the latest information about the country that in turn impacts the economy, the day-to-day functioning of the country, and then by extension your money. I encourage you to get on our SMS list, get your cell phone out, send a text message with the word ignition or with the word time to 70,000, that's 70000, and you'll get added to our SMS alerts list moving forward. You can opt out of the SMS list at any point in time that you want. We'll send you breaking news and alerts on your cell phone, and you can opt out of them at any time you want. Also, please get on our email list. To get on our email list, simply go to ignitiontime.com/alerts. That's ignitiontime.com/alerts. We look forward to having you as part of our growing community. Now, you can also follow us on Instagram. Our Instagram handle is ignition_time. That's ignition_time. You can also, if you like, follow us on Twitter. Our Twitter handle is also ignition_time. The unique thing about Twitter, and you'll see my Twitter page on your screen right now. The unique thing about Twitter is you'll see what I'm reading. I retweet in real time. You'll be able to essentially follow along with me. So I encourage you to follow me on Twitter because our Twitter community is growing very, very rapidly. Speaking of community, I encourage you to comment below and become a part of our growing community. One of the things I'm proud about is the fact that our community is intelligent, bipartisan, respectful, and our community is growing very, very rapidly. So I invite you to join our community. I think you'll love it. Also, please share this video with just 2 friends or family members. Share this video with 2 friends or family members, and that tells the YouTube algorithm that you found the content helpful. I would appreciate that. You'll find the links to all of our resources in the description section below. And one final thing, please click like, please subscribe, please enable notifications. I would really appreciate that. That does help out the YouTube algorithm. Look, folks, I've been covering a lot of different types of information. So I cover stimulus information where I talk about lots of money. I've been covering politics where I talk about everything that went on with Trump, everything that's now going on with President Biden, everything that's going on between Speaker Pelosi, everything that's going on between the Senate Minority Leader, Mitch McConnell, and the new Senate Majority Leader, Chuck Schumer, and the new balance of power in the United States, which is that the Democrats having control of the House, the Senate, and the presidency. But they need to work, and they should work with the Republicans, because the best decisions come about when both sides work together. I'm hoping that every day can be a party atmosphere and we can be dancing together. Now, those were my dancing skills. No, but seriously, I want to make sure that you have the right information to manage your money. And then I want to give you the right information as far as politics is going on. As far as all these players, President Biden, House Speaker Pelosi, the Senate Minority Leader, Mitch McConnell, the Senate Majority Leader, Chuck Schumer, what all of these individuals are doing and the impact that it has on the economy, which by extension has an impact on your money. So I'm covering all this in detail and trying to bring you the information so it's easy for you to understand. So please click like, Please subscribe, please enable notifications. I would really appreciate that. I'm looking forward to seeing you in the next episode of Ignition Time.